So we should see it pop up on Twitch soon.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're doing it on Twitch, can you at least upload a profile pic? What does that mean? Hold on, YTX is trying to tell me something. Okay. So he did it. Yeah, I don't even have a profile pic set up on Twitch. It's just the default picture.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's just the curly bracket and the O. Yeah, just flipped over. Yeah, we will think about some nice graphic for the pro pic.
We got to leave ourselves some room for improvement. Can't be perfect right out of the gate. Okay, so let me check. Okay, so are all these battles going to be in Retro Cup? Did you start your challenge in Retro Cup?
Yeah, that's correct.
And let me check your move sets. So you have Gengar in the lead with Shadow Claw, Shadow Punch, and Sludge Bomb, and Raichu Safe Swap, Volt Switch, Wild Charge, and Brick Break. And Lapras.
Yes, everything is correct.
With Ice Shards, Surf, and Skull Bash. Okay. And I guess maybe we should explain the challenge that you set for yourself for all of those who don't know yet. So I guess for whatever reason, you already hit Legend, but you decided that wasn't good enough. And with 2 weeks left in Season 7, was it your friend's account that you used?
Yeah, I took an account from a friend, and he gave me the permission to use his account for 2 weeks or for the necessary time in order to hit Legend. And the main challenge was try to use only teams suggested by one of the few first lines of the safe teams section in Go Battle Log. So as soon as I had those 3 months for the first row, I decided to use those 3 Pokemon in the first row, unless some incredible weakness was under everyone's eyes. For example, double weak in the lead and in the back to a common threat. But beside that, I just use this simple strategy.
And what MMR did you start at?
I started recording at 2500, mainly because I wasn't confident enough I would make Legend. So I didn't want to fill all my storage with gigabytes and gigabytes of video without being sure that I could have a shot at Legend. But after I reached 2500 very quickly, I started believing in it. So.
Yeah, actually, you kind of you mentioned it to us, but you kept it a secret for a while because you weren't sure if you're going to make it. And then when it was near the end, then you told us that you hit Legend. And
yeah, that's correct.
We didn't
I wanted it to be a surprise. Yeah, I wanted it to be a surprise actually, but yeah. After hitting 2500, I decided, maybe this is worth to be shared with my friends.
Okay, yeah. So I guess we're gonna watch your journey from 2500 to Legend in this stream.
Yeah.
You might not be able to watch all the videos because I think you split it into 2 parts. So we'll watch the first part here, and maybe you could talk over the team choices you made and how you played each team, the strengths and weaknesses and stuff. And I'll be pulling up some details and information on the right side.
Okay, that's great.
Let's jump into the first battle.
Okay, so obviously very, very, very bad lead for me. So I needed to save swap into Raichu. And unfortunately, I think I missed the switch button in the first place. So I made 1 Shadow Claw. And this gave Snorlax 2 licks of advantage, and I didn't make it to the second Wild Charge, as you see. So the game started bad and continued worse because now I think I need to shield. Yeah, I need to shield here. And okay, so they switch into Jellicent, which is very nice for me. So I can. Okay, I wanted to farm this Jellicent down. Unfortunately, they have already asked me already. My only win con is trying to farm this Jellicent down. I don't make it, just barely. So at this point, my health is too low to do anything. Yeah, and dribbling comes in, and also they sneak one hex. But yeah, there's really nothing I can do. Very very unfortunate game. Very very tough lead. Okay, here. Okay, so if you can pause this this battle for a second, I just want to I just would like to make you notice that I actually made one Shadow Claw, and then I switched. But for whatever reason, the confusion damage gets registered on my Gengar.
Oh, and yeah, it should have been transferred.
Yeah, it should have been transferred to Raichu. So yeah, this is something that, as Totectical, for example, said in one of his recent videos, this is one of these dynamics that are completely broken and of course needs to be fixed. But yeah, I was pretty upset about this because I really hate when the game doesn't do its job. Yeah, one Shadow Claw and then I switch. Yeah, so it's like the first confusion took 3 turns instead of 4. So of course I go into Raichu, which is basically in the 80% of the cases it is my safe swap because it can force shields, and they come into they switch into Frost, which is very nice for me. They don't shield the wild charge, so I can farm down. I have still a bunch of energy, so I will probably take my shield back. It is. Now I have the alignment that I need, so I will have to tank this Thunder Punch, no problem. Then I switch into Surface, so I force the CMP tie on the first move. I was one Shadow Claw ahead, so even if this Surface had one counter of advantage, I had one Shadow Claw of advantage for because of the beginning of the game, and I just don't barely make it to farm this Hypno down, and this happens because I got my confusion damage registered on my Gengar in the first place, but still I won the game. Very positive lead for me, and very positive switch. So I don't really need to switch, and I actually don't care about shielding because if they bait me, fine. If they don't bait me, fine. I have 2 good answers for Frostless, so I can farm completely this Jellicent down with Volt Switch, shield the Shadow Ball, which is really nice. Then I have 100 energy, and this figure is not a threat anymore. So they don't shield even. So I make one fast move, and then I go for Brick Break in order to force a shield. And then I win CMP here. So very good. Yeah, I have one shield to 0 with Lapras, so it's a good game.
That was lucky because in the matchup chart here, it shows that Vigoroth beats almost all your team, all 3 mons in your team in all shield scenarios.
Yeah, that's true. Although both Raichu and Lapras chunk this Vigoroth, so yeah, but it is one of the hardest threats to the team. So next game, very possible lead for me. So Drift Beam, of course, I'm going to stay. They try to catch the Shadow Punch on Munchlax. I was kind of expecting it, so I go for Sludge Bomb, and then I switch into Lapras to almost farm down. I don't really care if I get hit by. Okay, so they even throw Bulldoze, which is not the right play in my opinion, but even better for me. And okay, so I decided not to shield, and this is just a bait, which is very nice for me. I think they shield. Yeah, they shield the surf. I don't know why, because actually that dribbling was pretty useless against my team since I already had my Gengar. Okay, and I oh yeah, that's fine. This is good game because they switched to Frostless. Yeah, I have 2 shielded Gengar. Absolutely nothing my opponent can do, and my opponent surrenders.
Okay, just one moment. I gotta figure out how to mute Discord, but it's how do I mute Discord? So problems. Okay. Hopefully that did it. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, that was a positive lead. Driftblim loses to almost everyone in your team.
Yeah, terrible lead.
Terrible.
And
for your whole team.
I am forced to switch into Lapras, which is my kind of soft counter. Actually, it loses to Zangoose.
Yeah.
But yeah, they come into Frostless, which is very nice. I'm happy to see Frostless here because I have 3 good responses for Frostless. I decided to tank this Shadow Ball, and I get really greedy. I should have thrown much earlier because now they reach Avalanche, and this is a CMP, so I decided to undercharge. I double up on Surf, and then I switch into Gengar to get ahead of energy, hoping to reach the Slash Bomb before this Zangoose reaches Night Slash. Unfortunately, my opponent is smart, so they don't allow me to do that. I have 2 Surfs. No Shadow Claw comes through, so this is nice. They shield the first one. They switch into Haunter, I think. Yeah. And then I shield Haunter. They make they also make a 1 Shadow Claw. So I am behind of energy against Haunter. And even if I shield this one, yeah, they are back to back. Really unfortunate. Probably, yeah. I shouldn't have waited too long when I had my Lapras versus the Frostless. This definitely was really bad for me, but my opponent played very well because they didn't allow me to reach the Slash Bomb when I tried to switch back into Gengar.
Yeah. So that was
It looks like YTX Pikachu joined us.
Oh, hold on.
Okay, so it's a new team.
Oh, this is a new team. Okay, I gotta.
Yeah, just
So
yeah, because since Gengar, Lapras and Raichu was the team that I used to in order to hit 2500. Then I started recording from 2500 onwards. Unfortunately, we had only 5 battles with the previous team. So the day after, Go Battlelog for my range suggested me to use Whiscash, Galvantula, Regirock. So kind of ABC team, not really ABB, but yeah, it is weak to grass both in the lead and in the back. We only Galvantula is a reliable response to grass types, but the ability to Regirock, the Regirock's ability to spam powerful charge moves makes it a good closer and a good save swap as well in that meta. And yeah, and Whiscash turned out to be a very safe option actually for the lead because there are no really many grass types in the Retro Cup meta. So I find myself staying with Whiscash in a lot of neutral leads, which is not the play that I'm used to make. Actually, I am more of a ABB team player. But yeah, it was really nice to learn how to handle different teams, how to play different lines. It was a nice challenge that allowed me to learn a little bit more about the Pokemon. This is basically what King IV does every night. So yeah, it's really nice. It's really funny way to get some practice in when you lines.
In this team, which one do you use usually as your safe switch?
Well, it depends. It depends on the lead. What I usually do is going to. So if Whiskas has a bad lead, it's because I have, for example, to face an Abomasnow. So in that case, I prefer going into Galvantula because Galvantula is better when shields are up, and Regirock is better when shields are down. So even if Regirock is the least hard counter to Abomasnow, I don't reveal my Regirock against Abomasnow. Or at least this is what I should do. I don't know if even the battle. I don't know if even these battles I behaved differently, but according to what I think, if my shields are up, I prefer going to Galvantula because it works really better. And an unshielded Galvantula is almost useless. While on the contrary, an unshielded Regirock when shields are down is really strong.
Okay, let's take a look.
Okay, nice lead. This is obviously a good lead and a very good save swap for me. Yeah, I just need to keep alignment. I can tank the first move. Actually, throwing Shadow Ball is not the correct play because they would need to throw another Avalanche in any case. So my opponent will be better off throwing back-to-back Avalanche.
They burn both shields now.
Yeah, and I don't mind shielding here just to maintain alignment, and I still can retain switch advantage and shield advantage, even if this Regirock farmed me down a little bit. I can tank this Focus Blast with no problem because Whiskas is a champion. And yeah, this Mud Bomb is not going to be enough. Of course, I will need a second one. I don't want to get hit by another move. So that's why so I took a risk here. So I decided to go for Blizzard. But yeah, probably the safest play would have been going to Galvantula because Galvantula with 1 shield to 0 wins versus Altaria going lunge and then discharge, I think. But even double discharge. But since I have still 1 shield, I should have gone into Galvantula and then throwing lunge in order to take less damage from Dragon Breath, and then cleaning the game up with the final discharge. But yeah, it's fun anyway. Whiskas is very spammy and is very tanky. Is kind of it's a tank actually in my opinion. Very nice Pokemon, and I managed to reach the Blizzard.
Okay, just give me a second. I'm editing the title of the stream because YTX just informed me that we have no title.
Okay.
Okay. So hopefully that does it.
Nice. I like it.
Do you see it? Did it update?
Yeah. I can see it.
All right. GG, back to the action.
Hold on. You need to set the game as well.
I gotta set the game. Okay.
Come on, go. Sure, it has the E accent.
Wait, under category?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Just this one. Up the accent, the E, it won't show up. Okay.
Yeah. I think I did it. Did I do it right?
I see it.
Nice. Okay. Sorry about that, Leo.
Oh, it's fine.
So now we have a Politoed lead.
Yeah, it's a neutral lead. And of course, since my Regirock is weak to Politoed, I have to stay in and shoot this Politoed down.
Show that it's It's neutral, but in Politoad's favor in all shield scenarios. So do you steal
Yeah.
him?
Yeah, Whiscash has a soft loss to Politoad. I don't mind going for a no shield matchup here, so that this Politoad can be in both switch range for Galvantula. So yeah, the main ability of Whiscash is that it can chip the 80% of the meta down without the need to use a shield, and then I can farm this Politoad down without being hit by a move. So I bank a move and then switch into I remember this game. I think I threw the game. So my opponent smartly shields the Focus Blast. I'm afraid this could be a Power Whip. It's just about his own bait, so well played by them. I go for a second Focus Blast, and they shield again. So in this moment, the situation is actually not that good for me. So I decide, I really wanted to catch the Body Slam and to make it. So I keep my Stone Edge Regirock with 1 HP, and then I go for lunge. And then I go for another lunge, and here I made a huge mistake because this lunge is not going to be enough. Lickitung survives with 1 HP, and then it put me in Powder Snow range, and this is very bad for me. So I need to hope that my lock-on damage gets registered before the leak damage, because both of us have 1 HP. I threw the game because I should have thrown this charge in the second moment. Okay, neutral lead. So at the beginning of the day, I started playing the Whiscash Hypno matchup in this way. So just staying in. Well, actually, what I should do probably is switching into either of my Pokemon sooner or later, because both of them are 2 nice answers to Hypno. So, but this allow me to farm this Hypno down and to store a Focus Blast without taking so much damage. And they have a Linoon. So from the experience of the past game, I decided to bait here, and I reach another Focus Blast before they get to a move. I think and I try to catch the Grass Knot, but unfortunately they have a hard punishment for my Galvantula. So so they decide to throw, and this is nice for me. I can let this go. I can farm a little bit down, and I throw my move before they can reach the X-Scissor. And now this is just a race for the charge move. And I make to the final Focus Blast with 1 HP. So
And
super
2
close
shields.
game. Yeah, super close game.
1 HP and 2 shields.
Yeah, I think that Linion actually had almost 100 energy, but they were committed to farming me down, because if they fire a move, they give me one turn, because in the 99% of the time, 1 turn fast moves sneak through when the opponent throw a charge move. So farming me down was the only play for my opponent, and it was super close with a 2 shield flex, but
You said that you preferred to have switched out of Whiscash in Hypno, but if they had Linoone in the back, they could have hard countered you later.
Actually, because well,
Sounds like in this case you played it. You played it well.
Crustle, it was fairly common in the meta. I didn't expect it, but I saw a lot of Crustle during this 2 or 3 days of Retro Cup Challenge, and I think it's a very nice Pokemon. Of course, it hard counters Altaria and Frostlass, which were the most common picks of the format. But yeah, it has some very bad matchups against Medicham, and so yeah, it is a double-edged sword, but still a very good Pokemon. Another neutralish lead. Of course, Swampert is going to beat all the team.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad I've seen this Swampert now with my Whiscash. I need to invest 2 shields. If they shield, I need to shield as well, because I need to bring this Swampert to a health level when I can potentially farm it down with Galvantula or with the Regirock. And
Because
actually,
the Sims here show that Swampert beats your whole team. So
Yeah.
if Swampert runs away, it could just sweep your whole team. So I'm kind of curious to see how you play this out, because right now it looks like Whiscash is not doing very good. He's matching
I'm
with
praying.
shields.
Yeah, I actually praying that they will going to say. So I'm continuously chipping this Swampert down with the Mud Bombs, trying to fake the Blizzard, even if I was one move short. And then I outpaced the Swampert. Yeah, I don't know why. Probably they were too greedy, and they get outpaced. So I switched into Galvantula immediately, blindly, because I didn't want my Whiscash to get farmed down. And then I put this Altaria in Stone Edge range. They switched into Hunter, but with no shield, Regirock is too strong. It's basically too strong. So Regirock cleans the house. It was a late motif of this day of battles. Regirock sweeping the backline with no shields in play. It was really fun. Okay, terrible lead. Not that terrible actually, but yeah, I can't afford switching into Galvantula. And they have Dynamic Punch and Psycho Card. So this was making me think they might have double nuke. So Dynamic Punch and Psychic. But actually, okay, so Ice Shield here. And they bait me with Ice Punch. So Ice Punch and Dynamic Punch, a very unconventional moveset, especially because I'm wondering what are they doing. What do they do against the Frostlass? But yeah, and then I misplayed this matchup because I had so much energy. I have two Mud Bombs stored, but I used 2 shields, and then I have a Frostlass with 2 Powder Snows of advantage, and I have no shields. So what I'm trying to do is hoping that this Frostlass does not shield, but of course they are shielding. And I don't reach the second Stone Edge for 1 lock on, and the third Avalanche is going to be 5 Powder Snows. So I don't manage to fire my discharge before Frostlass throws the Avalanche, and then I have a Galvantula as well. So very, very tough. Definitely a misplay in the lead on my end. Next lead, a bite Dunsparce. So I've checked the move count for Dunsparce later, and it takes 23 bites to get to the Drill Run or to the Rock Slide. I think they have. Oh, okay, yeah, you're showing in this moment.
Yep.
Yeah. So I throw this Mud Bomb, and then I switch into Galvantula to snipe it down before they reach the move. And they have a Shadow Claw Typhlosion. So as soon as I saw Typhlosion, I said, "Oh my god, this is lost." But then I realized It is just a Shadow Cult Efflusion. And they didn't shield my discharge, hoping that I was baiting. So at this point, I decided to shield. I throw this discharge to put this Alteria in a more manageable range. And I fire launch here because I know my opponent is going to shield, and then I like to receive less damage from Dragon Breath. So when you are sure that your opponent is going to shield, you can just go for launch. Yeah, and I'm going to outpace this Alteria to the Moonblast. And they surrender in the exact moment that I'm trying to push the Stone Edge button. So really, really good timing from my opponent. Okay, how do I play the matchup versus Alteria? What I usually do is I force a shield or take the lead with Blizzard. If they don't shield, fine. If they shield, fine. And I switch to Galvantula because with shield advantage, Galvantula actually wins. So I go for launch here because, I would need another charge move in any case. So I like to take less damage. I shield the Sky Attack and then I switch to Dugong, which is okay with me. I go for discharge. I didn't shield, thinking that I'm baiting again. So I let this Galvantula go. Good job. And then I farm this Dugong completely down with the lock-ons. This energy is going to be very, very valuable. Do they come into Snorlax? Yeah, they come into Snorlax. So I store 100 energy and then I go into Whisker because I want to clear my debuff. So, and then I reach the Blizzard just in time. This Blizzard is crucial because now this Snorlax, which didn't shield, is in double Stone Edge range if they want to shield, or in single Stone Edge range if they don't want to shield. I'm still 2 ahead of energy, so I just need 3 or 4 fast moves more to reach another Stone Edge. So yeah, that 100 energy on Regirock was.
What rank is your Whiscash? It blizzarded with 1 HP a few times now. And
yeah, I don't know. I don't know the IVs of my friend's Pokemon, but yeah, I can imagine it was a really nice rank. So I missed the switch button, but I wanted to switch immediately into Galvantula since I have 2 better response in the back for Frostless. Then I get hard walled by this. Actually, this is not a hard wall because they need to shield here. I didn't shield, so I can switch for free. And this is super nice because now I can align my Regirock to this Frostless, and they are still locked. So I decided to shield. This is an okay play, but not really necessary. And they shield again, and they are not switching. So they can switch now, and they are not. They are not doing that. So this makes me think they are really weak to Regirock. They shield again, and they have a Kindra. So at this point, I decided to force the CMP tie because I'm 1 fast move away, and I didn't want to get debuffed. Okay, so my plan is over farming a little bit because I don't want to give more farm to Frostless. But unfortunately, I should have waited a little bit more for the Dragon Breath to chunk me down because this Frostless is able to reach the final Avalanche when I am 1 fast move away from the final Stone Edge. So really unfortunate, but yeah, my opponent played really well. I should have waited for a couple of Dragon Breath more in order not to provide that much energy on Frostless with my Whiscash. Yeah, it was my only play, still very close. Kindra is definitely a threat to the team, like all the Dragon Breath users. As you will see later against some triple Dragon Breath teams. Yeah.
Just going back a little bit. So Okazuka, that does 25%. Yeah. And then now you're debuffed, but you did 31% with Mud Bomb and
So here I have the blizzard already, but I wait for 2 or 3 fast moves in order,
okay.
in order not to give too much energy to Frostlass. But it is still too much energy, and yeah, I just missed the Stone Edge for one lock on. It's super close game. Okay, Jellicent, I have 2 better responses. Okay, so this is one of the few cases when I switch save swap into Regirock, and I get hard punished by this Machamp, but they don't shield. And this is fantastic for me because now I can align my Galvantula to Jellicent.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I was just curious. Why did you switch out of this Jellicent lead here?
Because I know that my Regirock plays better against Jellicent as well as Galvantula, and so if I have 2 better responses in the bag for the opponent's lead than my current lead, I usually switch. And I decided to go into Regirock rather than into Galvantula because for this particular. Okay, so yeah, probably I am, and I'm not respecting what I said before that Galvantula with shields is going to be better than Regirock with shields. In this particular case, Galvantula was too hard of a counter for Jellicent, and my actual hope was my opponent not to switch away. So I wanted to give the impression to my opponent that I wanted to stay into a sort of a neutral matchup with no hard counters. Of course, if I switch into Galvantula,
then you would have lost a hard counter.
Yeah, it was too hard of a response for Jellicent. So that's why I decided to go into Regirock. And this Machamp underestimated the Focus Blast.
No respect.
Yeah. And there was not really point for me to bait. I mean, the Stone Edge is resisted, and they can just fire a cross chop before I can reach the second charge move, even if I bait. So yeah, it was a bad play from my opponent. I can shield this Shadow Ball. Okay, so in this moment I go for lunge. Same reason as the previous times. I just need to take less damage. I shield here because I need my Galvantula to be alive. Okay, and now this Altaria is in Volt Switch range. If I didn't fire the lunge, I wouldn't have been able to reach another move and kill the Jellicent. My opponent doesn't shield because they recognize that the game is over.
Okay.
Yeah, so people might think that throwing a lunge at first might be some sort of a dumb play, but it actually makes sense if your plan is to have more health in order to threaten shields with a move for later. And this next game, okay, very bad lead. Okay, I switched to Galvantula because this time Galvantula is probably, it works better with 2 shields. I can tank the first one because Abomasnow was already debuffed, and I know they would have reached another Weather Ball before my second move. So I just shield once, and then I take 2 shields from my opponent, which is double debuffed at this point. So I can safely go into my Regirock. Actually, yeah, I wait a little bit more, and this is a CMP, but I know this is just a Weather Ball, so no need to shield. I would have preferred to avoid this Weather Ball, but yeah, it is what it is. They have a Jellicent. So Regirock has decent play against Jellicent, and then I catch the Bubble Beam on this Whiscash, which is still super healthy. And they have a Frostlass, which is not super great. My aim is to chip this Frostlass away as much as I can, so that I can potentially lock on this Frostlass down with my Regirock. And my opponent is getting really greedy. They definitely have a move. They are still farming. And we have we have a simultaneous KO, and they surrender because they recognize that they have thrown the game.
You're at 2583.
We are still climbing. No terrible misplays so far, but yeah, we are still time.
Throughout your climb, were your climbs mostly with 3-2s, or did you get a couple of 4-1s to help you?
In this 30 or 40 battles of Retro Cup, I had some steady climbings made of 3-2 mostly, and a couple of very bad sets like 1-4, but they were very rare. So here I made a huge misplay. This game is terrible. I wish I had never played like that. I wanted to catch the grass knot, but the game was really laggy. So you can see the spinning Pokeball of the death in top left.
I'm gonna restart it so we can.
Okay, so I win the lead, and then and the screen doesn't register my tap, and I think I have also a frame drop. So yeah, at this point, I throw this Blizzard because I need to deal some damage, and I try to catch the second grass knot, and then I stay still for 2 turns or for 4 turns. So the opponent Cresselia makes a couple of cycle cuts, and that don't make any fast moves, and I also miscount the energy on Cresselia. So this is a huge sequence of terrible plays. Sorry, guys, if you are watching that, but yeah, even good players can throw the game since the beginning. I'm not proud of this battle actually, but I've still one shield against 2 Pokemons. So this is another stutter lag. And I throw this Blizzard, which is not going to be enough because I've been debuffed. Yeah, I try to remove my Wi-Fi from the settings, but yeah, and I still have the spinning wheel in the top left. So these 2 or 3 games are going to be kind of laggy, but yeah, this is not the lag's fault. So I play this game very, very bad, and I'm not proud of it. So in this lead, this is a neutral lead more or less. So yeah, I don't mind staying in for most of the time.
Looks like you only lose in the 2 shields, but should be positive up to 1 shield.
Yeah, just a soft win for Whiscash. It's really rare for any Pokemon having a hard win to Munchlax. Okay, so I'm spamming these Mud Bombs, and I try to snap it down before they reach the body slam, but this is very unfortunate because I wait too much and they throw this body slam. And this allowed this Frostlass to farm me all the way down. They tank the first discharge. Okay. So they throw. I shield this. And I'm this is really, really unfortunate. I was hoping I would be able and I surrender because I too shielded the Deoxys against a Regirock and a half-health Whiscash with 1 shield. This is not going to be a good game for me. And if I managed to farm the Frostas down with Galvantula, I would have had 2 lunges ready for Deoxys, or at least one for Munchlax, and one for I don't know if Munchlax was still alive actually, but yeah, it was an unfortunate play. My win condition there was to farm these Frostas down, and yeah, unfortunately I didn't make it.
Yeah, Munchlax was gone. It was just the Deoxys left
Okay, yeah.
with 2 shields.
It would have been, yeah, with 2 lunges stored, it would have been another game.
Yeah,
definitely. But yeah, just you make mistakes. Your opponent is going to make mistakes, hopefully, and we have to accept it. So next lead is Altaria. So you know the drill. Just go for Blizzard, force a shield. I overfarm a little bit. There is some lag, but the opponent try to catch the Blizzard on Polysode. So I don't mind shielding here. And I don't know why I go for this chart, because they are almost in land range. They should be in land range. So I throw another move here because I don't want this Polysode to make me burn another shield. So I switch into Regier because I don't want Mega Venture to get farmed down. And they have a Jellicent as a response to Regier. So this is not a very good answer for this Regier. I would be able to beat this Jellicent. So I need to reach this Stone Edge. I know that I can survive. Okay, so I bank a move, or at least I think okay, great. They didn't shield the Blizzard because they were hoping I was baiting. Actually, I was storing a move, but I wasn't sure I would be able to throw a Stone Edge. So when in doubt, I decide not to give more farm to my opponent. I still had 1 shield, a lot of energy, because I didn't throw the Blizzard on Politoad when my opponent tried to sack at the beginning of the match. So I had a lot of energy still, and so the safest play was to reach double Blizzard, and my opponent's win condition was to call the bait.
So yeah, I had a question about this switch here, because this is something that I'm not sure if I should do whenever I'm in this situation. Do I let them farm me down and get alignment, or switch out?
Yeah, there is of course a case to be made that I might have well waited for Altaria to farm this Galvantula down, but actually either Whiscash with 10 mud shots of advantage or Regirock are going to be hard counter to Altaria at this point. Whiscash with 65 or with 70 energy is going to be a huge threat, a huge threat to Altaria. So it definitely becomes a hard counter to it.
What made you choose to switch to Regirock instead of Whiscash in this case?
Yeah, because I was imagining they had another response for Whiscash, because they switched out into Politoad in the beginning of the match. Okay. So my educated guess was that probably they might have maybe a grass or something, or and anyway something really strong against Whiscash. And so I wanted to bait this Whiscash answer with Regirock. But yeah, I could have switched into both at this point. Yeah, with 10 mud shots, my opponent just needs to call the bait. I lose this game only if I throw a mud bomb. Okay, I have 2 better responses for Drift Blim, so I switch into Galvantula. They have a Vigoroth, and Galvantula with a fast move of advantage is going to beat Vigoroth in 1 and 2 shield scenario, I think. So, okay, so I think I can survive this body slam. Okay, I shield twice, questionable play, but I have 2 charge moves, so I'm going to get my shields back, most likely. They have a Machamp, so I throw another Volt Switch, and then I fire my charge move. And then I bank some energy and then switch into Whiscash because I know they have Drift Blim, and I want to maintain my my energy on Galvantula. I overfarm by 2 fast moves, and they still catch the Mud Bomb on Drift Blim. So very, very nice prediction from my opponent. And I get debuffed. So I decide to undercharge, but I think I undercharged too much. I should have been a little bit more hard with the bubbles. So I wanted to farm this Driftling down, but they switched into Machamp. I was expecting it, so I sacrificed my Galvantula. And this is just a race to the charge move. This is a CMP tie. Is this a Shadow Ball? No, just an icy win. I survived with 3 HP, and then I managed to fire the charge move. Definitely much closer than it should have been. But yeah, it's still a win. Very good game.
Could Galvantula have sniped this down? The Driftlim? So like,
What?
Oh no, hold on. Let me go back a little bit. Yeah, so Machamp switches up.
Yeah, they switch into. Okay, no, this is already too late.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let me go back some more.
Yeah, so I was expecting the Machamp to come in to.
Yeah, so right here, I forgot how much energy Driftlim had, but I was wondering why you didn't switch into Galvantula and
Yeah, because if for whatever reason my Galvantula goes down against this Driftblim, I have Regirock against Machamp, and I don't really like it.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So I use the Regirock to tank a charge move, and then I use my Galvantula as a sacrifice for Machamp, so that I can reach Focus Blast and kill the Machamp. And then we see MP tie here, but it's just a nice win and a nice wind. I was really terrified. I was really afraid that this might have been a Shadow Ball.
Yeah.
In this case, in that case, I would have thrown the game. But yeah, luckily for me, it was just a nice wind. Licky Lead.
This is bad. Licky's back.
Yeah, it is kind of bad, but Whiscash doesn't lose too hard to it, actually. As long as this Licky doesn't have Solar Beam, I'm fine. But they are not charging up to Solar Beam, so I know this is just a body slam. So my goal here is, of course, to fake the Blizzard, but always going for Mud Bombs because I need this Licky to be in a health range when I can. Okay, so here I decide not to shield. This is a questionable play because I was at the Blizzard, so I could have shielded and either win lead or force a shield, but this is a really good scenario for me because their main response to Red Rock is Frostos. And yeah, and this time, this is GG already. I can just sweep the whole back line with unshielded stone edges. But I could have played the game in the lead a little bit better. I could have shielded myself and throwing a blizzard in order to ensure to get switch, or I mean to get an alignment or to get a second shield. Okay, very positive lead, very positive switch.
Yeah. Hard counters.
Yeah, you love to say it. And I'm not expecting my opponent to shield, but they actually shield. And I'm like, okay, so are you going to shield this one as well? And yeah, they do.
Even Brave wouldn't do much.
Yeah, they are really desperate for, and they catch the Stone Edge. Very, very nice play, very nice counting, but they have 0 shield. I can just farm down, yeah, and they surrender. It was already a lost game for them when they switched into Talonflame, and then I had Red Rock for their Flame Bird. Another neutral lead.
Talonflame.
Another neutral lead. So yeah, similarly to what I do against Licky, I stay in. I don't shield if my opponent doesn't. They catch the Mud Bomb. They were hoping to catch a Blizzard. I think I shield and farm down just in time. This is great because now I have a lot of energy. I should have thrown Lunge immediately because I took normal damage from leaks in the beginning, so I should have thrown immediately. And they shield and farm it down. I'm fine with it. They have a Deoxys defense, which is not great, but when shields are not both up, this matchup is a little less terrible for Red Rock. And I still have a 5% health Whiscash. I wasn't hoping for catching a move. I just wanted to deal some damage. So I need to farm these Deoxys down. So I shield here. And I don't make it. This is terrible. Yeah, I really needed to farm these Deoxys down in order to have a move for Snorlax. Actually, I don't know if I could have thrown the move against Deoxys and maybe farming the Snorlax down. But Snorlax has a lot of stamina, so even a red health Snorlax is going to take a lot of time for Red Rock to farm it down. So yeah, it was a tough call, and in the heat of the game, I didn't think about it, and I was really believing that my Red Rock would be able to farm these Deoxys down, but yeah, 1 HP. Yeah. Very, very close game. Another Snorlax lead. So, as well as before, just going for a flurry of Mud Bombs. Always faking the Blizzard. And then switching to they switched to Medicham, and this is very nice because Medicham beats both Whiscash and Red Rock, so I'm happy to get my Galvantula aligned with it. They shield Lunge, and they let me reach another Lunge. These are CMP tie, so I might consider shielding and farm it down, but yeah, I can even let it go, keeping both shields, farming a couple of mud shots, and taking this Medicham out. They have a Hypno, but I have a shield advantage, and we know that Regirock with shield advantage, or when shields are down, is going to shred most of the meta. So I just need to shield twice. Even if they bait me, it's fine. But they are going for Shadow Ball. So potentially they might have Fire Punch and Shadow Ball. And since Fire Punch are going to be resisted on Regirock, their safest play was to go for Shadow Ball. I shield this Body Slam, but I outpace the Snorlax to the next move. And one shot before Fox Blast. So very, very nice game. Okay, neutral lead. The first time that I faced a Hypno, I went for Blizzard, and this time I'm just going for Mud Bombs because I was thinking that I just need to put this Hypno in range for either Volt Switch or Lock On. So if my Blizzard gets shielded, it's actually very bad for me because I have no fast move pressure on with my Regirock, and I can't afford farming with my Galvantula a 40% health Hypno. So I really need these Mud Bombs to land.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm
going for Blizzard. Hypno is supposed to beat you in all shield scenarios, and even the confusion damage is chunking you down. So
yeah, that's true. In fact, I think that the most optimal play would be switching into either of my Pokemon in the back.
Right away?
Yeah, probably. I might consider, probably if I were to replay these matches with Whiscash versus Hypno, if I were to play again against my opponent, I would switch into Galvantula probably.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you got one shield.
Yeah, this is nice. This is almost in Volt Switch range. So I know that my opponent doesn't have Fire Punch because they showed Ice Punch and Shadow Ball. I have 2 moves stored, and then I switch immediately into Regirock because I saw the Crustle, and I don't actually need to fire any charge move on Crustle because one Stone Edge is going to be more than enough. So yeah, I'm better off keeping my energy stored. So this Jellicent is going for Shadow Ball, and this is nice. So I'm over farming a little bit, but okay, actually it was a CMP tie. Yeah, and with no shields in play, Regirock is going to almost one shot this Crustle. Even if they take me out right here, I have 2 lunges stored on my Galvantula. So it would have been a 1 game in any case. Very good lead. And yeah, this is a very, very tricky situation because my opponent is going to force me to shield up the Rock Slide. And yeah, now I make a mistake. So I go for lunge. Don't go for lunge, people. Don't do this at home. Don't go for lunge because your opponent is going to switch away in any case. So
that's one of the tips. One of the tips that Vroom gave me to throw that.
Yeah.
Throw the discharge instead.
But I have shield disadvantage with my Whiscash versus Medicham. Yeah, this is not a winnable game. My opponent played very well because Machamp was able to burn a shield.
It's also an interesting team with double fighters, which is tough for your team.
Yeah, it just a Frostlass counter and 2 Pokemon then might bait the Frostlass out.
Yeah.
It's actually quite nice because You can, of course, Marowak is the main protector of your backline. So you need to preserve the health of your Marowak at all costs. But yeah, it was a really interesting team.
I wanted
I would
to
have wanted. Yeah,
to
go on.
get
Sorry.
your get an idea of what you're thinking at this point, because now you've been using these teams which you didn't build yourself, and I don't know if you felt if by now you felt confident that you're going to make it, or like what was your, because one of the problems I have is when I start climbing, I tend to get distracted or frustrated or lose focus, and then I'll play badly, and then I'll tank like 100 points easily. So what are you thinking as you go through this? How are you able to steadily get these 3-2s, 4-1s?
Well, actually, I think there's no any special recipe for this. Just knowing your win conditions and having a solid knowledge of move counts, and also something that helped me out a lot over the last few months for Silver Cups is thinking of the Pokemon not only about their overall matchup versus other months, but knowing that in that particular shield scenario, your Pokemon is a counter to this or that Pokemon, but with another shield scenario, probably the same Pokemon would be countered by the opponent. So knowing a deeper knowledge of how your Pokemon are going to perform in different shield scenarios definitely played a role for me for Civ Cups. And so that, for example, that's why I usually go into Galvantula when shields are up, and I go into Red Drop when shields are down. And this is something that
Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying that this is something that I started doing kind of recently. It might sound weird, but yeah, I wasn't really into this type of dynamics before. So I was just thinking about my soft counter and my hard counter, but I was not considering at all the different shield scenarios, and thinking about bringing the game to a lower shield scenario for both of us in order to make my Colossus shine. Yeah, this is something that, for example, in Retro Cup, it works really well for me. So both Whiscash and Galvantula are two Pokemon that are able to burn shields very, very quickly. And after that, Regirock can thrive. So yeah, just knowing your weak conditions and try to think 15 seconds ahead of your opponent in order to visualize how the game is going to develop while you are playing. This is really what helped me out in the past months.
Do you play all your sets every day? I mean, in this challenge?
Yeah, for this challenge I did, because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it, so I didn't want to waste any potential battle. Yeah.
Oops.
Okay. Defense Deoxys. They switch out. Actually, this is not a terrible lead for me. Of course, I would have needed to stay in if the opponent's Deoxys didn't switch. So I put this Lick into Stone Edge range, but I want to preserve my health on Whiscash. and of course I wanted my red jug to avoid the axis. So I can tank this body slam and go for another Stone Edge. If they want to shield twice, this is fine with me. I can farm down with Galvantula at this point. Okay, no, I don't. Okay, I throw the move here because I don't want to get hit by another move. They burn a shield with Rock Slide. And they have a lick tank. Yeah, so a double shiny licker in the back. Very nice flex. Props to them. So what did I do here? Okay, so this time I wanted to go for discharge, but I wait too much. So and this is a fixed CMP time. So if you go back, you will notice that I actually I am smashing the discharge button, but it doesn't get registered. No, it was just right before the Licky Tank fired the body slam. Okay, so I shield here, and I overfarm, and then I and then I tap the discharge button, but I don't know why the charge move doesn't get registered. So yeah, at this point I can just make one more volt switch and have it double lunge, one for taking out the Licky Tank, and one for chipping away this or chunking away, I should say, this Deoxys, which is already debuffed. So this Psycho Boost doesn't take me out. We simultaneously go down, but my Galvantula is still alive, so I win the game. Alternatively, I think this is a triple Dragon Breath user. I have a feeling. So I tank the first move, I overfarm by a couple of fast moves, and then I go for Blizzard. If they shield, fine, I'm going to Galvantula. If they don't shield, I'm going to Galvantula. Anyway. And as soon as I see this Kindra, I know they have a Dragonair. So I shield here, and of course I got the debuff. So I'm not in a good position right now, because now I'm not able to kill this Kindra. And I have a Dragonair. And this Kindra also has a lot of energy. So I have to keep in mind this. So I catch the Oppo Tail, but they undercharge. Very smart play. I don't make it to the Blizzard, unfortunately. And they have... I don't shield, actually, because my only win condition was to take this Dragonair out and take it and saving the shield for Kindra, because they were almost at another Octazooka. So very, very, very tough team to deal with. Really, really nothing that I can do. Just the Octazooka debuff is so broken. Probably it would have changed something. I don't know if I took the Kindra out with my Galvantula, I would have given even more farm to the Dragonair. So yeah, probably with the triple Dragon Bed team, the match is a 99% a loss. So if I wasn't debuffed, I would have been able to potentially to farm the Kindra down and maybe to throw a move to either Altaria or Dragonair. But yeah, it was a very tough team. And also, if my opponent didn't undercharge the Aqua Tail, the Dragonair would have been energy. And the Dragonair would have been energy dry. So probably I would have been able to throw the Stone Edge on Dragonair and to race to the final charge move versus the Kingdra. But yeah, super tough. Another Altaria lead, so I wonder if this is going to be another triple Dragon Breath user team. So I'm tanking the Sky Attack.
Blizzard.
I overfarm by 2 or 3 fast moves in order not to get sacked.
Oh wait, so you went into a Regirock this time instead of a Galvantula?
Yeah, because they don't. Yeah, and this because they actually shielded. So I was wondering with because Regirock with shield advantage is going to play much better versus dragons rather than Galvantula. So I was hard reading. I was
Okay.
sort of kind of hard reading that they might have 2 dragons in the back again, and I really wanted to push this advantage, push this advantage in my favor. But yeah, let's see how the game plays out. I have shield advantage, so this is nice. I just need to so they let me reach a second Stone Edge, and they shield. Very nice counting by my opponent, and I let this go. This is what sealed my fate. I should have probably, well, I don't know. Probably I was hoping I would be able to farm the Kingdra down with Galvantula without using a shield. But yeah, not really great plays. Plus, I'm debuffing an Altaria, which has room to switch because the timer is up. So yeah, and the fast move pressure from Shadow Dragonair is insane, especially Galvantula. Yeah.
Okay, so this is another bad lead.
Yeah, but I can't switch out, unfortunately. I need to stay in and deal as much damage as I can.
The whole matrix is red. Yeah, it's tough for your team.
Yeah, it's terrible. So I shield here. This is a questionable shield. I was expecting a psychic, but still they went for the bait early. Very unconventional play. And yeah, they are keeping sneaking counter through. And then I let this psychic go through. So I've lost switch advantage and shield advantage. So I put this Altaria into Stone Edge range, and I have a Hypno. So the game is not totally lost because Regirock has actually a fairly good matchup against Hypno. But this Hypno has a shield advantage, so I don't know how I can pull this out. Let's see. Yeah, I switch into Galvantula to get ahead of energy, and I throw this discharge right before they kill me with Sky Attack. So I need to farm this Altaria down. I know that I can't make it because they have done 14 Dragon Breaths. So I just needed to farm this Altaria down, but I couldn't. Or to do 2 or 3 fast moves. Yeah, so super close game despite the terrible misplay in the lead. Actually, yeah, the Magician leads were the toughest for my team because is the bulkiest fighter. In my opinion, is even tougher to deal with than Defense Deoxys, because Defense Deoxys needs to debuff itself in order to deal some damage to Whiscash. Well, Magician doesn't. So yeah. In this case, yeah, this is not a great lead, and they got a boost. So this is not good at all.
Yeah.
But I can force a shield at least with double Mud Bomb. So I don't make it to the third Mud Bomb. This is really unfortunate. So I shield here, and then I switch to the mirror, and then sneak a full volt switch through the. So they have 2, 3, and they throw here. So I tank this lunge, 1, 2, 3, and then I catch the lunge on Red Rock. But yeah, this is already a lost game, and I don't make it to the complete farm down.
It's snowballing.
And then I'm forced to just I got because I got a notification, so I decided to cut the frame, but it's still that game. But yeah, my Galventula is too low to do anything, and they reach the Thunderbolt. So yeah, I decided to save some time for both of us, and this was a 4-1 actually. So first negative set of the climb.
Falling back to 25-68.
And we fall back to 25-68. Very positive lead. This time I try to catch the grass knot, but I don't make it. So I shield the Moonblast, which is nice. They sneak a Cycle Cut. You love to see it. Okay, I know that I'm going to survive the next move. And I was considering farming down the Cresselia, but yeah, probably throwing the lunge was the safest play. And they shield again. Okay. Yeah, very, very good play from my opponent. So I knew that it was going to be a grass knot, but they sniped me down with a Dragon Breath. But they don't shield the Blizzard. And so yeah, now they are in a very tough spot. I can go for the safest play, which is going straight Stone Edge. I have still very healthy Whiscash. So yeah, I could have done either charge moves, but yeah, was a very dominant matchup in any case.
Yeah, against Graveler, it would be 55% with Stone Edge. Focus Blast with KO. Instant KO.
Yeah, I was expecting them to shield, so I just wanted to save some energy. But yeah, probably the safest play would have been going for Focus Blast, knowing that I had still a Whiscash, which is 100% winning matchup. So what do we have next game? Okay, another Hypno. So same as before. Okay, so this time I store a lot of energy and I go into Red Rock. So an unconventional play, but I should be able to make it to double Stone Edge before this Kindra reaches Octazooka. So I'm forcing a shield, which is always nice. I can let this go, and I'm presumably I'm going into Whiscash. I slightly undercharge in order to gain some extra energy, and I have lost shield advantage, but I have sorry. I have lost switch advantage, but I have shield advantage. They have Altaria. I have 2 shields to 1, so I fired the launch before because I want to be able to reach the second discharge and to potentially farm down this Altaria. But they throw and they move, so this is fine. I can match shot this Altaria down. I am 2 shield to 1. I go for double nuke. Actually, I go for the nuke. If they shield, fine. If they don't shield, this is fine as well. Now I can go for double Mud Bomb, and yeah, no need to go with Blizzard. Just they are almost in Mud Bomb range. I probably took a risk throwing the Blizzard, but I was thinking, since I still had 2 shields and my opponent had 1 shield, when your opponent has 1 shield and you have 2 shields, your opponent is less inclined to burn the second one because they don't want to be a 0-2 shield deficit. So I was thinking it was a good moment for throwing the blizzard to Hypno in the end game, and this paid off.
So I wanted to ask you about this scenario here. What made you decide to choose Whiscash over Galvantula?
Because Kindra was too healthy to be dealt with Ball Switch. So I wanted to get rid of this Kindra and potentially having some more mud shots. So that's why I don't charge all the bubbles. And I was hoping that my Galvantula with 2 shields to 1 could be able to deal with the backline. And luckily I was right. So yeah, Whiscash as a surprisingly nice matchup versus Hypno. Although the battle mode tells that Whiscash is going to lose, but this because the battle mode considers that Hypno is going to bait with a punch every time. But but baiting with a punch is always risky, because unless you have Ice Punch, you're not going to deal any damage with Counter Punch or with Fire Punch. So most Hypnos just go for Shadow Ball against Whiscash. And so that's why in real life the Whiscash Hypno matchup is way better than what simulation said.
So over here, Machamp is a bad matchup for your entire team.
Yeah, I need to stay in and trying to take this Machamp out if I can. So I'm going to shield. No, okay, I don't shield because I know that I need to shield the second one, but probably they are committed to farming me down. Okay, so I go into Galvantula with an aggressive swap because I know that at this health range, this Machamp is probably going to be almost in lock-on down range for the end game. So I'm not really worried about Machamp anymore. And I didn't want to give more farm to this Machamp with my low health Whiscash. So that's why I swap into my only Machamp counter. Okay, so yeah, if you can pause just for a second.
Sure.
I knew that the Machamp was full of energy. So after they countered me down, I noticed that they had literally 1 HP. So I didn't want to take any unnecessary charge move on my Pokemon. So I go into Red Rock because I know that the damage of lock-on is going to get registered before they are able to throw the charge move, because it is a 1-turn fast move. So yeah, this is a weird mechanics of the game, but that in this case paid off. And so after this Machamp and all its energy went to waste, I have to face a Jellicent, which is nice if they don't bait, but they successfully bait me. So I decide to tank this move, and I'm going to store my energy, and then so they are just going. Yeah, so I store in the energy because I'm hoping I can win CMP. Probably, yeah. This is not the safest play. Actually, I should have thrown Stone Edge, even if it was double debuff Stone Edge. I should have thrown my energy because I would have been able to close the game out with one Mud Bomb without risking to get farmed down, as you will see later. So if I decide to opt for a conservative strategy. So I keep my energy because I didn't want to deal double debuff damage. But I wasn't sure about who wins CMP here.
Jealous
So-
wins.
Yeah. So actually, swapping into Whiskas was a dumb play. Was not a good play. And I should have thrown all my energy, because now with my double debuff Stone Edge, it would have been easily in mud bomb range.
Yeah, that would
So
have killed.
I took an unnecessary risk here, but luckily for me, the win column was to farm my Whiskas down in order to have a bubble beam ready for Edge Rock, and luckily for me, they didn't make it. So it worked out, but yeah, it could have been less close if I thrown the Stone Edge, even if they were double debuffed.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to make these split-second decisions during the battle.
Yeah, but the top world players do make these decisions every time. So yeah, that's why they are first or second or third in the Sif leaderboard.
Right. Do you record your videos and go back and review them to see how you could have played it better?
I do that in Sif matches. I don't do that anymore for GBL because I think I have a good understanding of the game mechanics in general, and so GBL is more a training place to subsequently shine in Sea of Cups. But yeah, I usually review my losses, my defeats in Sea of Cups. Even if I don't always do that. If I lose by 1 HP or by some strange dynamics, I probably delete the video immediately because I don't want to get too upset for the battle outcome.
Right.
But yeah, usually this is what I do. I almost always review my Sif battles, and this is something that really helped me out. Another Altaria lead. This might be the game that they catch the Blizzard. I think they catch the Blizzard. Yeah, I can't believe it. I overfarmed by 3 mud shots, and they still catch the Blizzard. I really hate when my opponent has some feeling for the charge move. So I throw here, and they shield. So I can farm down and having a move. So here it's really strange because now the Dragon Breath damage doesn't get registered on Galvantula. And this is strange because in the previous case with my Red Rock versus Machamp, my lock on one turn fast damage was registered. And in this case it didn't happen. So very, very strange. And yeah, I was hoping this Focus Blast would kill the Munchlax, but actually, yeah, the safest play would have been going for double Stone Edge. I don't make it to the Blizzard for one fast move, so I just need to reach the Stone Edge, and I don't make it by one fast move. This is terrible. Yeah, and then I surrender because I was kind of upset. Zangoose, not great. So I throw at 6, hoping to get queued into the CMP tie for the close combat, and then I call the bait and they shield. So in this case, I switched into Galvantula because I like to be in a 2-to-1 shield advantage with Galvantula. They have a Roserade, so I burn another shield with lunge, and this is fine. I can let this go. I go with my Red Rock. So I was afraid this could have been a Leaf Storm, so that's why I shielded. But yeah, probably if I counted correctly, I could have saved the second shield. They have a Deoxys, but I have still one shield. And I go into Whiskas to bait out the Zangoose. I can farm this Zangoose down, which is really, really nice for me. I can land this Blizzard and finish the Deoxys. Okay, so I wanted to match shot down. I did throw a Cycle Boost, but they don't fully charge it because they surrender. And yeah, good game. It's a 4-1, so we are back up to 2600 NMR range.
Oh wait, hold on. Looks like a team change here.
Yeah, new day, new team. So Lantern and Frostas and Hypno. The Hypno move set is actually Ice Punch and Shadow Ball, if I go well. So this looks like an ABB-ish team because two anti-fighters and two anti-dragons and two anti-grasses because Hypno has Ice Punch. So yeah, it looks like a nice team. Of course, when shields are up, Hypno works better, and when shields are down, Frostas works way better than Hypno. So Hypno is usually my safe swap here. Okay. Although in this particular case, I need to stay in because Lantern is my only reliable response to dust swaps. So that's why I'm not switching, of course, because okay. So they switch into a bomb now. I'm hesitating a lot, so I don't know what I'm doing here. I should switch into Hypno immediately. So I managed. I don't know how to burn a shield. I actually would have preferred this Abominance now not to shield because I wanted to bring this Abominance now in Confusion down range. But since they shield, so I committed to almost to farm this Abominance now down. So I don't mind shielding twice because now I have a Shadow Ball ready for the Dust Flops and maybe to take the shield back. They don't shield. They don't shield. So I reached. I don't reach the Shadow Ball, so I need to go for Ice Punch, and down goes the Dust Flops. So can a Frostlass with no shields win against a good draw with one shield? I don't think so. Okay, so I switch into Lantern in order not to get me from down. And I managed to reach this Hydro, and Aspark gets the job done. Very terrible lead. A long Graveler is very hard to deal with. So here I'm chipping this Hypno down. I shield this Shadow Ball, which is not a Shadow Ball, and then I catch the Shadow Ball on my Hypno. This is a terrible play. I shouldn't play like this, but because now I'm down a shield against a Pokemon for which I don't have any reliable answer, and then I surrender because the opponent Frostas makes 6 fast moves, and there was no way for me to win that match. So I played that match really terribly, and my opponent didn't make any mistakes. So yeah, they clearly deserve the win. There are some moments when your brain doesn't work properly, and yeah, it's just part of the game. Even good players have some brain farts. It happens, but yeah, this is never great to showcase this brain farts in live chat in live stream. But yeah, I really wanted to showcase all my battles, and so yeah, there are some good plays, there are some bad plays.
Okay.
Yeah, what should have done is probably go into Frostas immediately after
gone into. Hold on. So where would you have gone into Frostlass?
When the opponent switches into Hypno, I should have switched into Frostlass.
Oh,
because,
right. Yeah.
Of course, Frostas doesn't want to see the long Graveler.
Yeah.
it was a dumb play on my end, and so my opponent deserved the win.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 powder snows. Plus shield disadvantage versus Frostless. Yeah, this is not for me. Okay, a rock throw my cargo, which is nice. They switch into Cresselia, so I'm playing to build some energy and hopefully put this Cresselia into Shadow Ball range for either of my Pokemon. But of course, I want to go into Frostless. Okay, actually, I don't throw any energy. This is curious. I know that I can tank a move. Actually, the safest play from my opponent's point of view would have been double Grass Knot, because Future Sight doesn't KO, and this allowed me to farm more energy and to throw a Shadow Ball to the Macargo. So I have my Lantern aligned with this Frostless. This is nice. I can safely shield if they throw a move. Okay, so I go into Hypno because they are in Confusion Down range, and I prefer shielding twice with Hypno and having a Shadow Ball ready for my cargo, rather than allowing Frostless to farm more, because Lantern, is slow to charge. So yeah, I wanted I wanted the Frostless to be in Confusion Down range, and the final Ice Punch seal the deal. Cross lead, I need to stay in. This is a very bad lead for me, of course.
Yeah.
It can kill all my team, basically. But I need to stay.
Why did they switch out?
Probably because they have 2 harder checks to my Lantern. This is what I'm guessing. They get the debuff, so it's not great, but they still they shield, and I don't make it to the second avalanche. This is not great. Now I can shield the outrage and farm down 1, 2, 3, 4. So they were right at the Octazooka, but they don't make it because they throw the move when the damage of Confusion registers. So I save the energy for later. Then I go into Lantern, and they have Politoed for my Lantern. So Politoed is going to sweep. My Lantern is going to sweep.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, they don't have Earthquake. They still have a shield. So I go for Hydro Pump because I need this shield down. And I called the bait, but I called the bait wrong. So I don't know why they shield, because they had a Politoed. So
Yeah.
they had a Politoed with no Earthquake. So they should have stayed in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Another Alolan Graveler lead. And they switch to Altaria. Very, very nice for me. I have the hard punishment for this. I know that I can tank the first Sky attack and force 2 shields. If they want to shield twice, I'm fine with it. But they don't. So nice. I let this Something Sneak a full Incinerate. This is not great, but I have a wall for Talonflame. So this looks like how it counters City. So I actually, if my opponent stayed in, rather than switching into Altaria, the game would have been much closer, if not with a different outcome. Now I can just shield correctly the Stone Edge and go for Shadow Ball, and I still have a fairly healthy Lantern for a very low health Talonflame. So they can take me out. I don't care. Just Lantern strong. Okay, another 4-1. We are still climbing. Mew lead. Mew is another huge threat to this team.
Dark Pulse.
Yeah, very, very particular move set, but probably in the Retro Cup meta, it made a lot of sense. So I switched to Frostless in order to avoid the Mew, of course. And okay, I'm able to reach another Shadow Ball and force a shield, which is always nice. And I know that my opponent is less inclined to shield because they already spent a shield. So that's why I go for the nuke. And then it lands, which is fantastic. If they shielded the Hydra, it would have been super close. But yeah, now I can just go for Ice Punch and for Fusion Down and shield twice if needed. So well played to my opponent. Another Alone Graveler lead. I don't know what's up with all these Alone Gravelers.
It was good in the Retro Cup.
Yeah, indeed, but I didn't see any in the first 2 days. So I tried to call the bait, but they went for Stone Edge, and then they got super greedy, and this allowed me to force the second shield with the second Hydra. And they are not switching out, so I'm better off shielding this, yeah, just in time. Destiny can both switch through, but I think this Ice Punch might be enough, yeah. And I have a Froster with one shield advantage. They have a Shadow Hypno, so the Shadow Hypno is going to get KO'd by the Shadow Ball because it is a Shadow version. And I have a Frostless, but I still have a shield, so Frostless would have been able to sweep, and they surrender.
So in this situation,
yeah,
do you always prefer to switch out blindly? Because I notice you're just tapping Frostless furiously.
Because I was pretty confident that Frostless with one shield of advantage would have been able to deal with almost everything in the meta. And I didn't want to provide extra energy to my opponents because Hypno, it is good when shields are up or when the opponents are low in health. But in this case, I knew that Hypno was pretty useless for me because it has no closing moves. The hardest hitting move is Shadow Ball, which does probably half damage than Shadow Ball from Frostless does. So yeah, in any case, Hypno and Frostless have the same coverage, Ice and Ghost types. So yeah, I was preferring going to Frostless anyway. They were really strong against fighting types in any case. So even in case of Machamp, I would have gone into Frostless anyway.
Okay.
Deoxys lead. I have 2 better responses for Deoxys, and I get punished by this Snorlax. So my aim here is to fake the. Oh, what happened?
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm just because I'm trying to learn from your tips also, and it looks like every time you have 2 better responses, you always switch to the soft counter immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to give extra farm to my opponents, and I know that probably I would need this Lantern in a later phase of the game. Hopefully when shields are down, so that I can lane the Hydra. So my aim here is to fake the Focus Blast. So I count up to 7 Confusions, hoping to get a shield. I grab a shield. I try to go for some cheap damage with Ice Punch, but I throw. So this is nice for me. I can start building up some energy on this Lantern. And actually, I wait too much. So I let this Snorlax to fire the second Body Slam. Questionable play on my end. And I try to undercharge. But in Great League, Snorlax to his Way Glacier. I remember this game. This is not a good game. Yeah. They have a Lapras. I have a shield advantage. So I shield the first serve. I let this go through. And I go for Shadow Ball, which is the safest play. And they shield again. So here we switch at the same time. Or maybe I switch immediately after. But I make a sort of huge mistakes. a series of mistakes that I would like to review with you at a slower pace after the battle is ended. So in this case, I ended up losing the game, but I would like to go over the main mistakes that I made in the end game.
Okay. Activating
So,
time stone, rolling back time.
Yeah. Okay. So this is fine.
Is the part where you KO the Snorlax accidentally.
So down goes the Snorlax. I should have undercharged more, or probably I should have just prevented the Snorlax from throwing the second body slam. But yeah, they have the punishment for my Frostas. And although I have shield advantage thanks to the fake Focus Blast from Hypno. So I spam the switch button for Frostas because my Lantern is going to be only free energy for my opponents. So I have to shield 1, and my aim is to land as many Shadow Balls as possible here, which of course are going to be shielded from my opponent by my opponent. So I shield the first serve because I know that I would have to shield some move in any case, and neither Skull Bash nor Ice Beam are going to be more threatening than serve. So at least one shield is going to be used by me. Here, I think it is a CMP. I think we have a CMP tie. No, okay. Okay, we switch in at the same time. Actually, this ended up working well for my opponent and less well for me. So here, I should have undercharged this Shadow Ball because I leave this Deoxys with too low health, and I'm forced to shield in any case. So I should have undercharged this Shadow Ball so that I could have had a full Shadow Ball ready. So I'm one fast move short. So
you would have won CMP.
Yeah, I was hoping my Shadow Ball to be enough for the Deoxys, but actually it was not. So if I had a better knowledge about how much damage the Shadow Ball were going to deal to the Deoxys, I could have just farmed a little bit more actually. So no actual need for undercharging. I could have also shielded the Psycho Boost and going for no. I really needed to undercharge because I can't store double Shadow Ball back to back. So I needed to throw a Shadow Ball, and I needed to undercharge it in order to have more farm on the defense Deoxys, and in order subsequently to win the CMP tie against Frostas and against Lapras. So my opponent played well, but yeah, I could have done much better in this case.
Shadow Ball was supposed to do 71% damage, and at this point it looked like Deoxys at 80%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got less than 10% left, I think.
Yeah, I didn't evaluate correctly, and I was hoping either to KO the Deoxys or to farm this down before they could reach the Psycho Boost.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I was going to need the last shield for Lapras. So if I
won CMP on Lapras, at least based on default IVs, I think Frostlass wins CMP against Lapras.
Yeah, Frostlass wins CMP always against Lapras. Frostlass attack is 120, so yeah, it wins in any case. A well played by my opponent for sure. New lead. I remember this game. This is another game where a terrible Pokemon from my backline shreds my team. So I go into Frostless to after throwing the Thunderbolt. I shouldn't have thrown the Thunderbolt.
Why do you think that Mew switched out?
Mew switched out because they didn't want to burn a shield after they self debuffed.
Okay.
So yeah, they threw the wild charge and they bailed out. But I shouldn't have thrown here. So my thought process in the heat of the battle was to put this Hypno in avalanche range, and this is kind of makes sense. But I need the energy on Lantern. I really need it because Lantern is going to be my only answer to Mew. So I shouldn't have thrown any energy on Hypno, and then I get farmed down. So at this point, my Lantern has already half health, and yeah, this wild charge and bail strategy is really shredding my team apart. And even versus Medicham, I'm going to have a hard time because my Hypno was already low. So yeah, and I go down, and then I surrender. Tough game. Okay, this is a nice lead. They have a Bone Club and presumably Shadow Ball. They're switching to Altaria, and I'm fine with it. So I tank the first Sky attack. I know that I can throw back-to-back Avalanche. If my opponent decides to shield once, I can force the second shield. They don't shield the Shadow Ball. So, yeah.
Yeah. Game over.
Yeah, they were not counting correctly the fast moves. Very good lead. And I pushed the wrong button. And yeah, actually, I automatically went into Hypno because I was expecting in my mind, I was expecting a bigger odd-save swap. Because I saw the normal type on the top right. So that's why I went into Hypno. Even if Frost would have been better, but actually the optimal strategy would have been throwing a Thunderbolt on this Munchlax, and then go into Frostless. But yeah. Anyway, I have 2-1 shield advantage because I managed to force a shield in the Hypno versus Munchlax matchup by faking the Focus Blast. And with shield advantage, Lantern is going to outplay the Medicham and should still be able to survive an Icy Wind, but I make it to the move. So at this point, I try to sack my Frostless with the. Yeah, that's fine. I have actually I didn't want to sack the Frostless. I wanted to make the combo play with a Thunderbolt plus Shadow Ball. But it ended up working better for me in this case because if I switched into Frostless immediately after my Thunderbolt, and if the switch got registered, I would have sacrificed my Frostless for nothing, and probably I wouldn't have been able to reach another Thunderbolt before getting Ice Sharded down, probably. So yeah, good. So good thing that So good thing that we reached the CMP tie with Lantern versus Jugon, so that the Ice Win landed on Lantern rather than on Frostless. I was a little bit lucky, but yeah, it worked out well for me in that case. So next game, another positive lead and another positive swap. So a lot of Altaria safe swap after I switched team and I put Frostas in the back. So really nice to see. As always, I tank the Sky attack, and then I force 2 shields, which I'm fine with. I can start confusioning down with Hypno and building up some energy in order to threaten the Shadow Ball, in order to fight the Shadow Ball, actually. But I decided to catch the move just to make an unnecessary flex. Actually, I didn't want to shield, so I was hoping to catch a Shadow Ball. And they have a Dragonair. So I shield here because I really want this Hydro Pound to land. I don't know why I missed some bubbles. I was hoping to farm this Dragonair down. But actually, I can switch back into Hypno because my timer is up. And having an Ice Punch for Dragonair and Shadow Ball for Jellicent. And even if this Aqua Tail took my Hypno out, I still had some minimum health on Lantern, and this Dragonair was almost in Spark down range. So Crystal lead, I need to stay in. They try to catch some Hydro on Licky Licky, but I can catch the Body Slam on this Licky Licky. On this Frostas after building up some energy. So I build up to a lot of energy because I don't want this Licky Licky to reach Shadow Ball. I shield this because I was expecting the Shadow Ball. Actually, it was just a Body Slam bait. They don't shield the Shadow Ball. So I'm okay coming with Hypno, and I have a Mew. So yeah, probably I'm not going to win this, although I play the secondary matchup perfectly because Mew in the back is terrible for this team. And here I'm quite confident I can reach. Okay, so they make the combo play, and what I should have done is farming a little bit more, probably try to farm this Licky Licky down. And now here, I panic and I tap the Thunderbolt button when probably, and I would have been able, I would have been able to throw the Hydro Pump if I were more patient. It was a misplay on my end. I was definitely going to reach the Hydra.
Hydra would have done 70%.
Yeah.
So
it would have been
that would have killed.
Barely enough.
That would have killed.
But since I panicked, I throw the Thunderbolt and I give this Mew a lot of energy for the final wall charge. Yeah, very, very poor play on my end. Medicham lead. So I have 2 better responses for this Medicham. They have a Leaky Tongue, so probably maybe they have another Leak user in the back. Same story. I fake the Focus Blast and they shield. This is always great when this happens. So far, all the Leak users that counter switched into my Hypno burn the shield because they were scared of the Focus Blast. They catch the Thunderbolt on this Medicham, so I store a Thunderbolt, my Lantern, then I go into Frostas. I don't mind shielding this and forcing the CMP tie. And I have a Regirock, but I have a lot of energy. So I can throw 2 Avalanches. And actually, my play here is to let these Frostas go down because I know I will get outpaced to the next Stone Edge in any case. So here I get greedy. I shouldn't have farmed so much, but luckily for me, I'm able to reach the Thunderbolt before Licky Tongue is able to get to the Body Slam. Gengar lead. I need to stay in because my Frostas doesn't want to see Gengar, and I can't give away my Hypno too soon. So I shield this Slash Bomb, and they switch into Lickitung. So I throw double Thunderbolt because I want to be able to farm this Lickitung down, and I actually wanted to catch the Power Whip on Frostas. So I store another Thunderbolt and then I switch it to Frostas to farm this Lickitung down. But but unfortunately the timer is already up, so I have no time to farm down this Lickitung, and I can take one shield back, which is nice. I shield here because although I knew that my opponent had a Slash Bomb, I was afraid they might have double nuke, and they have a Machamp. So really weak team. Yeah, really team weak to Machamp. I was lucky with the team comp. They tried to sack the Ice Punch, but yeah, I was kind of committed to the Confusion down. But yeah, the aim of Go Battlelog website is to suggest team with a team combat advantage of your opponent. So I'm happy with it.
Okay, 1 second. I noticed this is another team change.
Okay.
I see a Whiscash.
Yeah, so we go back to Whiscash. Actually, it's a mix between the last one and the second last one. So we have always a blue fish in the lead and a yellow Pokemon on the safe swap. So either Hypno or Galvantula, and a closer and a strong closer. So either Regirock or Frostas. In this case, it just a variation of 2 teams ago. So Whiscash, Regirock, and Galvantula, but with Hypno in the place of Galvantula.
Do you still have Ice Punch and Shadow Ball on Hypno?
Yeah, the moveset didn't change.
I guess one nice thing about Whiscash is you have faster charge moves. Lantern's charge moves are really slow.
Yeah, of course, but Lantern can give more closing power because of the stab nuke. Actually, Blizzard hits a little bit harder, I think, than Hydro, but it's not stab.
Yep.
And Lantern is also a little bit bulkier. So okay, I need to stay in. I am weak to Dusclops in the back, so I don't mind staying in and try to time my charge move correctly in order not to get any hex sneak through. So I throw this Mud Bomb just because I want this Vigoroth to be in a Confusion down range. So I think I throw here because I don't want to use a shield, and I still have almost one Shadow Ball. My opponent knows it and throw the move immediately. So I go into Regirock now because I wanted to start building up some energy with Regirock with shield advantage. And
still no shields.
Still no shields. So I store a Stone Edge, and then I snipe down this last slots with Mud Bomb. They have a Dragonair, so my aim here is not to go to the Blizzard. You just put this Dragonair into a Stone Edge range. So I just prefer going for double Mud Bomb because if the Blizzard gets shielded, I wouldn't be able to kill this Dragonair with a single Stone Edge.
Yeah.
Very favorable, very positive lead for me. They switch into Shadow Hypno, and I don't know what to do here. So what I was what I was thinking is that I can't go into the mirror right now because
you'll lose.
I will lose. So what I actually think I did is throw in some energy here and putting this Hypno into in shadow ball range for my mirror. And if they want to shield, this is fine because both Whiscash and Regirock are going to be good versus Crustle. So I just need to get rid of my Hypno because I don't want my Hypno to see the Crustle. I already have two great response to Crustle. So I'm not really fighting for switch advantage. I'd really prefer having shield advantage here. So I throw some energy and put this Hypno in Shadow Ball range. I will not shield this Shadow Ball. And I will go for Shadow Ball myself. If they're shielding, it's fine with me. Okay, I can count with Whiscash, tank the move, and throw this Mud Bomb before they reach another move. Then blindly switch into Red Jug. They had the Vigoroth, but we panic, but they panic switched and they switched into Crustle. Probably Vigoroth would have been a slightly better response to Red Jug than Crustle. So they completely sack the Crustle, and then I go for multiple Stone Edges. I don't need to go for Good Blast because I need this Vigoroth to be in range for Mud Bomb. So 2 Stone Edges are more than enough. And so and the final Mud Bomb gets the job done.
Did you go for a blind switch here from Whiscash? Like right here after you KO Hypno?
I think
you're tapping.
Because I was not. I was expecting my opponent not to come with. But actually, I knew that my opponent. Okay, so since my opponent wants switch advantage, I knew that they didn't want this Crustle to be aligned with Whiscash. So I was expecting my opponent to. I was expecting my opponent to come with something different than Crustle. So that's why I blind swapped. And even
he
because
blind swapped.
Yeah, and I'm pretty confident with Pokemon like Regirock or Frostlass. They work really, really well with shield advantage. So I don't mind blind swapping if I have Regirock or Frostlass with a 2-1 shield advantage, or even better with a 1-0 shield advantage. And in this case, even Vigoroth or Crustle, it makes no difference because Regirock is going to be a huge threat for them, especially with one shield more than my opponent. So leaky lead.
So in that case, would you say it's always better to have a closer that does well in 1 or 0 shield advantage?
Well, I believe it certainly helps. There's no really need to have no shield closer in your team. For example, there are many Pokemon that are well rounded and they can play safely as a closer or as a lead. For example, Galarian Stunfisk, and that works really well, in all shield scenarios. But if you are planning to, in this case, I'm not planning anything because I got the team suggested by the website. But in this case, the website made a smart decision. So suggesting some hard hitting closers for the end game, and I found myself in a really comfortable position in a lot of games when I was able to burn some shields early with my safe swap or with my lead, and then cleaning the game up with a 2-to-1 shield advantage and a Frostless or Red Rock with some fast charging nukes.
Okay. Here we have a Leaky.
Yeah, not a great matchup.
No.
But still somewhat playable. Of course, I don't want my Hypno to get aligned with this Leaky, so I'm saying. And I'm always faking the Blizzard, but going for multiple Mud Bombs. And they switch it to Hypno. So I'm going to the mirror because I know that I'm going to lose Switch, but I don't care because my only aim is to avoid the Leaky. So I know my Hypno is going to be useless. I just need to force. Okay, my opponent does not shield the Shadow Ball, which is fine. I was hoping for having shield advantage, but this is fine. I take down the Leaky with Ice Punch, and then I blind swap into Red Rock.
It's all down to Red Rock.
Sorry, what?
It's all down to Regirock now.
Yeah, so I tank the Grass Knot, and I shield the second one. And then I shield in the Stone Edge, of course. I need to shield this one. And I need to catch something. So I throw the Stone Edge one fast move before they would have reached the Grass Knot, but they are keeping their energy. But they need to throw now because otherwise I'm going to be able to throw another Mud Bomb. And I know that my opponent is spamming Grass Knot at this moment. So that's why I go into Hypno. And this paid off because now I can safely reach the Stone Edge.
How did you know they were spamming Grass Knot?
Actually, I was more hoping that, but yeah. I was not 100% sure, but yeah, my win condition was my opponent to make that play. Ulterior lead, so I overfarm by 2 or 3 mud shots in order not to get. Okay, so I made a huge mistake here. Terrible mistake. I have all my counters misaligned, and this just because I wasn't patient enough. I should have waited this Medicham to farm my Whiscash down, and then I would have had Hypno for Medicham and Regirock for Marowak. Mm-hmm. But since I panic swapped into Hypno, of course they had a punishment for Hypno. Yeah, and I had all my counters aligned the other way around, and there's nothing I can do. My win con is my opponent not to shield Blizzard, but they shield, of course. So I surrender. Very, very poor play on my end. Medicham lead. Let's see if I play this out a little bit better than the first cases. It looks like I'm not shielding correctly the moves. Okay, so I don't have yeah, this is terrible. I don't have a direct response for Zangu's save swap. So luckily for me, I survived with 1 HP, and I'm able to fire the Stone Edge. So now I need to farm down this Zangus. Yeah, and they catch the Mud Bomb on Medicham. It is going to be much closer because I can throw this Mud Bomb. Now this Crustle is almost in Shadow Ball range, but they have 1 shield left. So I just need to try to burn the shield and go for Shadow Ball, but my health is over and they win the game. Good game.
Yeah, I had a question about what the opponent did there. Why did they switch out of their Medicham into Zangoose aggressively?
Probably they wanted to get ahead of energy, hoping to farm my Whiscash down before I could react, because I was really low. So yeah, probably this was the play that they had in mind.
I see.
And here I try to call the bait. It's always terrible, but when you don't call the bait correctly. But yeah.
Do you use that strategy? Aggressively switching out and just taking a risk?
Sometimes I do. Not often. It depends on what I expect my opponent to have in the back. But yeah, this is something that a lot of players do, and I think it's a nice strategy. Sometimes it works really well. Actually, it works better when you manage to get some shield advantage during the lead, so that
Yes.
you can make an aggressive swap and mitigate your potential switch disadvantage, because they are going to counter switch. But yeah, it worked out very, very well for my opponent, because Zangoose with a couple of Shadow Claws of advantage is terrible for me. So Abamas no, not great. So I go into Hypno, and they have a Mew, so not ideal. But I know that I can force a shield at least. With Shadow Ball, I'm not shielding anything. They have a Rock Slide, and they farm me down. So, and they have a Dark Pulse as well. So really, an anti-Frostlass moveset. I don't know if this Mad Bomb is going to... No, it's not going to KO. I'm blind swapping, and yeah, and they have a Deoxys. So
Hard countered.
Hard counter city, nothing I could do. I remember this game. This is really unfortunate. I think I lose for a slight misplay. So they tried to catch a Blizzard, but I was going for Mud Bomb. And they switched to a Shadow Psyche. So props to them for this pious choice.
It also looks like their Surfetch doesn't have Leaf Blade, because they threw a Night Slash.
Yeah, we don't know yet, but yeah, they actually had Leaf Blade as well.
Oh, okay.
They wanted to fish for the boost.
Oh.
So I am double or triple debuffed, so these Stone Edges are not doing anything to this Surfetch. They are Dragonair, so I need to get some shields down. Switch into Whisker after I threw my Ice Punch. At this point, I should have waited. Yeah, I actually undercharged because I wanted to have more energy, and I didn't want to be that healthy on the Whisker, because now I have provided too much farm to this Surfetch, and they are able to reach the last Nice Lash at the very last second. So not a great play on my end. I should have waited a little bit more in order to get to have a lower health on my Whiscash. Yeah, but I was thinking about this play while I was playing. But yeah, it's not always easy to calibrate your moves alongside with your brain decisions.
it's also risky because you don't know how you don't want to lose, but you no you want to win, but you don't want to win too much, but you also don't want to lose.
Yeah. So it was a very tough spot for me. So what I should have done is probably wait a couple of mud shots more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aquatail, and then 1, 2. Oh, I can't count. It's too fast. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, and I also undershot because I immediately recognized that I was throwing the energy too early. So I tried to keep some health on Dragonair, so that this Dragonair could make a couple of Dragon Breath on me. But yeah, it didn't work. Hypnolite, I need to stay in. I can't go into the mirror. Too risky, and Hypno is actually my only reliable answer for any fighters. So I need to stay in. I get a shield, which is nice. I go into Red Rock, and I shield this because I was counting up to 7. No, probably not. It's not true. It just I didn't want to get hit by a Shadow Ball. Now I don't know what I'm doing here. I sacked the Shadow Ball on my Hypno. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is a terrible misplay. Probably the only reason why I decided to switch into Hypno it's just because they actually shielded the Stone Edge on their Hypno. Yeah, and they have a Deoxys as well. So if they shield the Stone Edge on Hypno, I'm presuming they are weak to Red Rock in the back. So I wanted to preserve my Red Rock for later.
Yeah.
But after they show Crustle and they show Deoxys, they are definitely not weak to Red Rock in the back, especially because they have a Deoxys. So I don't know why they could have just let go down the Hypno and coming into Deoxys and started farming me down. I would have switched into Hypno and they would have switched into Crustle. So they would have won in any case. But yeah, I was making a hard read basing on that shield. Yeah, I didn't make the right play. But yeah, it happens. Zangoose lead, not great at all, but Whisker Hit is my only answer. So they go for Nice Slash and then switch into Frostless, so I'm fine with it. Another player that goes with Shadow Ball when you need 2 avalanches in any case, but yeah, they don't shield. I go for the Stone Edge bait, hoping to reach another Stone Edge. Yeah, and my opponent allows me to reach another Stone Edge, and they burn 2 shields. So I switch into Whiskas to chip this down, and I was thinking this might have been a close combat, so that's why I shielded. But they are unshielded, and they throw energy here, so I'm fine. I can let it go. I can shield once and farm down and having a nice punch for the Zangoose. So the Shadow Ball from Shadow Hypno is going to be more harmful than a nice Lash from Zangoose. I just shield once and farm, and I kill the Zangoose. So very, very tough lead, but I had a very solid counter switch for the Frostless swap. Very positive lead. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I totally threw the game. I wanted, of course, I wanted to switch into Hypno, but I pushed the wrong switch button. Yeah, this is terrible. This is one of the worst games that I have ever played in my life, and I have a full health Hypno. So yeah, we can even go a little bit faster on this one. I'm not really proud at all of this.
Okay, let's go forward. Skip.
Yeah, my only win con was 2.
Oh, that's
Okay,
it.
it's been.
That was the last one.
Yeah. If we go back just a couple of seconds, just to have in mind the final score, the
Oh,
final
yeah. Okay.
MMR range.
Be careful.
Yeah, I think this is the second set when I went negative. So all positive set except these 2. I think this is another 1-4.
Ooh. Hup. Hup.
Yeah, another 1-4. Not great.
2690.
Okay, not too shabby actually. We climb up in 3 days by almost 200 points.
So all those happened in just 3 days?
Maybe 4. Just actually, it was the last 5 battles for the first day, which was Gengar, Lapras, and Raichu.
Yeah.
Boy, and then the next day, I used which team did I use? Did I use Whiscash,
Yeah, it was a
Reggie, Galvantula?
Yep, that's right.
And-
Galvantula. Yeah.
Okay, and I think I used the same team for the day after, or maybe I think I used the same team for the day after, and I changed team the day after with Lantern, Frostlass, and Hypno, and then Whiscash, Regirock, and Hypno. So probably 4 days. Yeah, I think 4 days.
So this is
So not-
surprising to me because I haven't watched this before this. I haven't watched your video before this just to try to keep it fresh. And when you said you got to Legend in 2 weeks, I thought you had a whole bunch of very fast climbs. But in what I see instead is just a very steady climb of 3 twos and a couple of negative sets. And still you're able to climb all the way
Yeah.
to Legend in just a short amount of
Actually,
time.
yeah, because actually I made my MMR skyrocket in the second part of the video.
Oh,
And-
okay.
Yeah, I had a blast in the Great League, but unfortunately, my iPhone storage went full, and during recording some battles in the Great League in the second episode, so I was not able to record the final 20 battles that brought me to Legend in the last day. But just actually the last 2 or 3 battles that brought me to Legend. And that's a pity because I had a very great performance with the team in the last day. But yeah, it is what it is. We have a lot of material anyway, a lot of battles to go over. But yeah, actually, 2 weeks. If we consider the first day that I took my friend's account for the first time, so actually the real journey started in the Ultra League, and I made from rank 10 to rank 22 in 5 or 6 days, or maybe a week.
Okay. So I guess for anyone who's watching, this is part 1. We're gonna finish the climb to Legend in part 2, where you're gonna be switching to Great League, Open Great League. Is that right? And all your sets will be fully in Open Great League.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so that'll be fun because you get to showcase the climb from 2690 to maybe high 2900s in Open
Yeah,
Great
that's
League.
where it gets more sweaty because the players level is going to increase, of course, and plus the Open Great League is a league that I really like. Is for for legend for the final climb to legend, even with my main account. I always liked playing in Great League with during the last weeks. So yeah, there will be fun battles.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to it because now we're in season 8. We're in Ultra League now, but Master League is coming next week. But then we're going to go back to Great League. So hopefully we can cover your Great League battles, the climb to legend, in the next video, so that at least for me, I'll get to learn some tips and tricks that I could probably try to apply in my climb in Great League when Great League comes back.
Yeah, of course. It will be ready very soon. Just at most a couple of days. So stay tuned and don't miss out the second episode of this series. Second and final episode of this series.
Nice. Oh, and I guess, by the way, since we're here, I can show where you got your teams from. So if you go to Go Battle Log and you're a premium member, you can click Generate Anti-Meta Teams. And why don't you tell us what you did? So you click this button and you got a couple of results here.
Yeah.
And then, so you get a list of the counters for the meta in general. You get the counters for the leads, the safe swaps, and the closers. Then if you keep scrolling down, you'll see a couple of team suggestions. So how did you pick your teams here?
Yeah, so since my friend's account has had a limited availability of Pokemon, I actually decided to force the website to suggest teams using only a list of Pokemon that my friend's account had.
Oh, okay. So you restricted yourself even more. It wasn't hard enough for you. So I guess you went here and you typed a list of Pokemon your friend had, and you excluded everything else.
I excluded everything else with the star placeholder.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay. That must have been harder then with fewer Pokemon.
Well, yeah. In some cases, yes, because most of the Great League teams for the final push were made of Lickitung and Chansey and Wobbuffet XL. So I really needed to restrict the range of Pokemon to what I was given. And but still we made it. Not using full meta basic teams. It was still I mean,
really curious what teams you picked in the second.
Probably the first day team is the most meta of the 3 teams that I've used for the second episode. But the other 2 teams were really nice to try, and I really enjoyed using them.
Did you stay in this section only, in the save team section?
I remember, probably yes. Yes, because I was scrolling down, and I was deciding I would stop scrolling, and I would stop scrolling as soon as I saw 3 Pokemon that I had available.
I see. Oh, okay.
So, so I start from safe teams, even because with a limited choice of Pokemon that I had available at that time, I probably couldn't afford going even spicier with spice teams and with charger teams. So I really wanted for the final grind to have some safe team. But most of the time, actually, this is something that I've noticed recently. So I don't know if you just updated the way that the anti-meta generator works, but I have seen that among the safe team list, I can see many times there are a lot of ABB teams.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't intentional. So
Okay.
the recipe used in the save team section is still trying to trying to follow an ABC recipe, but just by chance, the C that provides the hardest counter to the A happens to be a B. It's totally unintentional. Or in this case,
Yeah,
it's an ABA team.
but it's nice to see. For example, yeah, I didn't record the battles, but I made legend for another friend just for personal challenge, but it was just something like 3 or 4 sets because my friend was convinced he wouldn't get legend, and he told me, "Oh, please do some battles with my account because I'm desperate." And I decided to go to the Go Battle Log website, and I saw there was a really nice team whose battles I didn't record, unfortunately. Medicham, Jellicent, and Snorlax.
Okay, that's interesting.
With Snorlax as a safe swap in order to bait out the Umbreon.
Yeah.
And it worked out really, really well for me. But and after a couple of days, it came up a video from all over.
Oh, cool.
It was using the same team.
Cool. That's awesome.
So yeah.
And I guess you proved to your friend that it's not his account or his Pokemon or IVs or whatever that's the problem. It's the player.
Yeah, and I was really happy when I saw the video from Wallower because it was the exact team, and I said, "Hey, this website is some serious stuff." Yeah, really great. But I didn't record anything, unfortunately. Just it was just for fun. It took me 1 day, but yeah, it was still really nice. And also another thing that I've been noticing recently in the safe teams list, there are a lot of ABA teams with some clear weaknesses.
Yeah.
So how are you going to address, for example, this Azu, Ferrothorn, Quagsire?
Yeah.
Because
so,
the Venusaur lead, because they are actually very common Venusaur leads.
Right. Yeah. So actually, the first few teams of the safe teams are actually not the safest teams.
Okay.
I should rename this to ABC teams. So the first 3 teams here, they're actually hard counters to the most popular Pokemon. So like if you look here, it's mostly blue for the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like G-Fisk, Azu, Bastiodon.
Okay.
But it totally ignored Venusaur because that was a cutoff point.
Okay. And then the more you go down, the more balanced the strategy and
right. Yeah. So this was a request from YTX. These were the what do you call it? Pareto teams where we only counter the top the 80%, the 80% most popular leads or Pokemon.
Yeah, super condensed meta. Yeah.
Yeah, super condensed. But then when you go further down, then it's a little bit more balanced.
I'm seeing also a Shadow Arcanine.
Yeah, Shadow Arcanine.
Who's going to be brave enough to test Shadow Arcanine?
So the thing about Shadow Arcanine is so this ends up being kind of like an ABB team if you look at the weaknesses. But the reason Shadow Arcanine and Alone Golem were picked were to hard counter Medicham's weaknesses. So if you see wherever Medicham loses, Jellicent, Shadow Arcanine and Alone Golem beat it hard. Same with Skarmory. So it's kind of a weird pick because they're hard losses, but it was not trying to minimize the losses. It was just trying to give you an answer to the leads that you lose to. So Medicham is the lead because it's supposed to beat most things. And then Arcanine and Golem were picked to cover Medicham's weaknesses.
Yeah. Also, it's nice to notice that both Shadow Arcanine and Alone Golem have a potential 70% move against a potential Zumaril.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they work as a pseudo electric types. Well, Arlangoma is an electric type, but although Arcanine not. But it might be some good material for any potentially brave player who wants to test some spice out.
Yeah. If you want a challenge and you want to try a different team every day, or if you have reached legend, no problem, and you want to try a different team to spice it up, you can definitely go through this list. Like here's one with Drag Algae. I think a few members in our website, in our group, have tried Drag Algae.
I love Drag Algae. I personally fell in love with it in this Venture Cup. I'm using it in my team, and it's working really, really well for me. Of course, you need to watch out for ice types, but still, the Dragon Tail damage is really OP. So if you manage to chip down the ice type with other Pokemon, they are not going to be a problem for potential Dragon Tail from down. And also, no one wants to take an outrage into the face, not even the ice types. So yeah, it's a really, really nice Pokemon. I really like it. I'm also using it in the factions, in the Seal factions in the Atlantis meta.
Yeah, I like your suggestion that maybe in the future we could cover some Sylph videos. Like if we have a couple of members who are participating in Sylph, and if we can get people to submit their videos, we could follow the same format and go over some nice Sylph videos also.
Yeah, of course. If you want to shoutcast a 7-0 round from for some members of the server, why not? Great.
Yeah, and I hope none of our members feel too bad that we didn't invite them for this one, because I wanted to showcase Leo's climb to legend, since all of these are his recorded battles. But I think in the future, if we do a shoutcast of our member submitter videos, we could have a larger group and have more people, just like how we do on our server, where we have our group streams. Could have the same format here too.
Yeah, it would be really, really nice. I would like it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Leo, especially for your generous videos.
Thanks, Aaron, for hosting this stream. Thanks for having me.
This was a great idea. I liked your challenge to yourself. I think all of us were kind of suspicious. Like we didn't want to say anything. We weren't sure if you're gonna make it, but somehow you did it. 2 weeks with just.
It was really nice, but yeah, I have to say that towards the end of the season, climbing is way easier. I'm not gonna lie. So 2 weeks is going to be a somewhat challenging objective, but not that impossible. Of course, 2 weeks would have been impossible if I took this challenge at the beginning of the season. But yeah, it was still kind of challenging because actually I ended up making legend maybe 2 or 3 days left, so it was not really super easy. But yeah.
And I can see it can be harder in some ways because later in the season it might be less predictable if more people have already reached legend and they're just trying out random stuff. You can't predict what's coming.
Yeah, you will see something like that in the second video. It was someone who was clearly trying to tank their rating in order to have more rewards in a later moment. And yeah.
Okay, I think you've hyped it up enough. Now you gotta finish your video so we can watch it.
Yeah, it will be ready very, very soon. I'm now reading from the chat that the Hot Pocket is currently number 5 in the world.
Congrats!
So yeah, huge shout out to our friend Hot Pocket for reaching legend on Sylph.
Yeah,
and
congrats.
for being number 5. So we hope to see some good Civ battles from Hot Pocket soon on this channel as well.
Yes, definitely. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, YTX, and thank you, Stephen, and everybody else who's tuned in.
Thank you everyone for staying with us.
Tune in next time for part 2.
See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.